Okay, so that's it for that. The next one item on the agenda is what you expected to know. So I'm going to go through this very quickly. If you are coming to the program here, whether master's or PhD, there are a lot of things that people that think about you already, that you also want to prove to them that you know. First is academic excellence. Maintain high GPA, excel in your coursework, actively engage in discussions in class activities. That's what they want you to do. They want you to come and be able to maintain a very high GPA, because if you don't maintain a high GPA, the scholarship will be taken away from you and you go back. I've seen students like that. I've seen somebody who is very close to us had same experience. So they want you to develop critical thinking ability, research and writing skills, and also to stay up to date with your development in your field of, your field. So this one also kind of get messed up. They want you are expected to be able to identify research questions and also do design experiments, for instance, or any kind of studies, analyze the data and be able to draw useful, reasonable conclusions from the data, and also develop proficiency in research methodologies and paper publishing a paper, being able to use ability to use this what's it called? Reference management software and things like that to be able to get references. Another thing is time management. I expect that you'll be able to manage your time very well. What I told you, sometimes your PhD advisor, your supervisor has more than one student, 3 or 4 students at the same time. So, and he still needs the right ground to support you guys. He has his own family, and he has his own professional development. And he also has his own professional development too. So it's a very big thing for them too. So I want you to keep that at the back of your mind. You need to prioritize your task, create and follow study schedules, and be able to make sure you manage your time wisely. You have to be independent in your thinking. You don't have to come every time and start asking questions as if you don't know anything. So take initiative in learning and professional development. Go to YouTube, go to professional seminars that are available in the school, and make sure you learn something. But it's for your own good at the end of the day. So seek resources, attend workshops, and also drive your education and career forward with guidance from professors and your advisor as well. So it's good to know that it's important to know that your advisor may not even know what you know. Because if he knows, there's no point asking you to come for the research, or if you can do it, there's no point putting you, inviting you to come and do it. So you need to be able to show them that you know it and know it right. Not that maybe you don't know it and you are giving them the wrong information or providing them the wrong analysis or something like that when you claim to know it. So put that at the back of your mind. For folks who are coming from the OND, HND level, one of the things that you don't really have too much in your school is the ability to teach. So if you can demonstrate that you have some teaching skills, that would be a good thing, because as a graduate assistant TA or a GA, will be required to maybe do some research or maybe do some teaching assistance. So that is very important. So you will be asked to carry your cross about professional development. Attend conferences and workshops. Tell your orga which seminars these seminars are coming up. I want to attend this. I want to attend this. I want to attend this, to help develop skills that will be marketable. Also develop soft skills. How to approach problems. There are problems in the lab. How do you deal with them? Instead of shouting, making some noise or something like that, how do you deal with them? So those are some of the things that they need you to develop. And also networking. How do you network with peers, friends in other universities, or you know what they are doing? Go to conferences. When you go to conferences, you get to know a lot about these things. So you need to be able to prove to them, do that as a graduate student. Those are things that are expected of you. So you know that don't just go there like somebody, okay, we're just going. No, you are expected to know a lot of things. So, and the ability to collaborate with friends and other researchers, lecturers from other universities is also a very good thing that they want you to know. ethical conduct, how to be able to avoid plagiarism, data fabrication, and some other things that that borders on your research. In terms of transparency, proper attribute to sources and things like that are some very important things that they want you to know. And then okay, these are already done. So you also if there's nothing like I'm shy when it comes to PhD or whatever, no matter how hard it is for you to give a presentation, there's nothing, I mean, you can't run away from it when you are doing your PhD or your master. You either you go to a conference or you are able, you be able to defend your thesis or something. You have a committee here in the US that you have to meet routinely to help you guide, to be able to guide you through to some cases. So in most cases, so you have to develop your presentation skill, communication skills should be hacked, well developed. So your adaptability and resilience is also sort of after. So it's also very important here too. So career development and the rest. So the next one I'm talking about is about HND, and it should be HND, not OND. It's ND. It should be HND here. So HND. Okay. So for HND, you know, a lot of people think they can't, they don't really have a place when it comes to scholarship application, but no, I want to tell you that's not true. So let's see some of the things about HND. Higher discrimination in Nigeria already about HND. They are marginalized. You are an electrical engineer from a polytechnic and another one from the universities. You are paid differently. You are, you know, given your what's it called, your benefits are different and things like that. So marginalized better than made inferior. So sometimes you begin to wonder why you even have to go to the polytechnic. So that is important to know. And like I said earlier, HNDs are not trained to be teachers. They are trained to be more technical. They are trained to be specialists. So that's why if you can have teaching experience outside that, even if it's a primary school or secondary school that you can teach, before you are, it's not a requirement, but it will be good on your CV. So that will be helpful. You can see in terms of employment, in salary, even in scholarship application, sometimes a lot of people think sometimes the route is usually, if you want to go for a master's degree from HND, is for you to do HND and go and do some top-up programs or do a postgraduate diploma, and then before you do your master's. That is an expensive process and takes a lot of time to make that happen. So that's why many universities in the US give master's degree admission with PhD degree. So that's a good thing. It's good to be, you know, something that is good to celebrate about. Just last year, before that's close to 1 year, this lady, and I don't know if you've read about her story, she posted something about how she got into seven top universities in the US with an HND degree. As a living testimony. You can reach her, you can check her name, Islamiyat. She's now in Tampa, which is like 2 hours away from, not Tampa, in Tallahassee, which is like 2 hours away from where I am right now. You can check the name on their university website and see if you can reach out to her and hear directly from her too if you are an HND student. So that is HND graduate. So that's what she said, that and so amazingly, the scholarship will enable her to focus. She got the scholarship, is what she said here. So you can, you know, read it. Considering the dichotomy between HND and BS in Nigeria, I was scared and confused. So I was so elated to inform you that I'll be starting my PhD in chemistry at the University of Florida State University, Tallahassee, Florida, USA this fall, having received full scholarships from 7 universities in the US to study master. So even with an HND, see that? That's a true story. There's another one too that was posted by Ugochukwu Madu on Twitter that I was able to post. There's a guy too who had a PhD too, an HND. He was able to see the same school that the lady got admitted to. Florida State University is the same school that the guy also got. Maybe the guy got inspired by the story and got to dig a little further. And then he got admitted to the same school as number 1, University of Texas, and these are the other universities that accepted her. So this is some of the congratulatory messages that they sent to her from those schools. See, Georgia State is here. Florida State University is number 1. And then which university is this? Maybe University of Texas. So University of North Carolina, sorry. UNC Charlotte. So that's good to know that you are marketable, that you can actually do something and get a scholarship with what you currently have. And that's what I'm going to show you, some of the route that those people took, some of the information that they're able to utilize to be able to get there. So what they did was to have a packet, like I have not talked about a packet here. You have your CV, your SOP, your transcript, and your other certificate, all of them. Sometimes you need to obtain what we call an unofficial transcript, which is a transcript that is given by your school, but it's not official. So I've just been awake since morning. I'm really, really exhausted right now. I just came off from another more than 2 hours Zoom meeting before I joined this. So sorry about that. So you start searching for the school, and then what they do also is to do what we call transcript evaluation. They evaluate your transcript through these World Education Services. And what they do is just like converting your HND transcript to a bachelor's equivalent. So they want to now put your, it's not like your HND now becomes equal to BSc, but no, it's going to be in terms of the number of courses that you guys were expected to have taken. A BSc is expected to have taken 120 credit courses. And sometimes for most HNDs, because they have OND first before HND, they take more than that. So which makes them qualify. Even at just looking at what they have, it makes them, because a BSc, for you to apply for a master, PhD, or whatever, you need to have at least 120 credits, or you need to have already done that. But you discover that most HND, OND, HND students, because they have like 3 in 1. They have the ND, they have the IT or the internship, and then they have the HND as well. So that is a lot. So that's almost about 5 years, which equivalent to the university as well. So you need to do that. And what they do, this is just pretty much how they score the points. This was from the website, World Education Service website. I don't know if they still hold on to this information, but this is what they do. So at the end of the day, your credentials are evaluated that provide comparison of student academic credential in another country to US. So that's what they do. And they evaluate it's not converting your HND to this. That's what I said earlier. It's just making them determine, just helps them to determine the number of credits that you gain in your HND, if it is equal to or more than 120 credits. Okay, which is a requirement for a bachelor's degree. Sometimes for an HND, you already even have more than that. So which makes you even qualify. So the evaluating organization knows that you have 5 years, like I said, IT and things like that. Sometimes when you take some external courses, you discover that those external courses, just because you don't have time to really do them, or you don't really like them that much or whatever, they kind of drop your GPA a lot. So by the time you do the evaluation, sometimes a lot of people see huge improvement in their GPA. So this evaluation also concerns both BSc and HND. So it's not only HNDs, but I'm just going to talk about HND here in this context. So that way, so there's what we call course by course evaluation. All the courses you've taken from 100 level to 500 level, they evaluate it and see how they compare it with the same courses that are offered in the US. If there are some courses that are not offered that are very unique, they toss those one off. And then by the time they do all those evaluations, your GPA can come from just something like this to something like this. It makes it a little better than before. So you can go to this www.wes or west.org to find out more. So is what do you of note here that not all universities in the US accept West. So when you're applying to any university, ask them. So like the success story from that girl, you should know that at least these are some of the universities that accept West, right? So here, Florida State, University of Texas, Georgia, University of California. These are good universities. So you need to think about these if you are HND and you plan to attend. You see, this lady applied and got it in 2022, last year, almost 1 year, to the same university. And the same guy applied and got it in January this year or February this year, 2023, to the same university. The top one is the University of the same state, Florida State University. So you know that Florida State University takes HND. So I'm going to target there. I'm going to work all over I'm going to work very hard to make sure I make it into the list as well. So that's what you want to do. So think about that. There's one aspect of the West evaluation that you need to know. For instance, the question might be, can I just do evaluation even if I have not started applying? The answer is yes, you can do. But the problem is that the money may be a little different because it costs you to do evaluation. It may be a little different because if they do the evaluation for you, if you don't know what to do yet, they can do it and keep it for you and keep all the evaluation material for you. And anytime you have schools to apply to, you can just let them know so that they can send the evaluation result to those schools. You just need to pay like $30 or something like that for them to send it. If not that, if you don't want to do this ICAP, this international credential advantage package, if you don't want to do this, it means that any school that you attend, that you apply to, you have to pay $170 to do the evaluation. So which one is better? Which one do you think is better? I think it depends on how much money you have, or if you really want to be spending $170 every time you do evaluation, or spend $30, spend $200 and then $30 after. So that's just it. So how they do it is this. Don't falsify results. Don't send falsified results. Don't go and manipulate results and think maybe that they won't know, because once you do, what you do is, once they request for a result directly, maybe from your school or from any other sources, so what they do is, okay, let me see. Somebody is sending me a message on my Twitter. Is the person here on this thing? Okay, I think you are here, right? Okay, so it's a step by step. So I've already, I'm going to start explaining the steps now. So he said, fill the form. So can you post it on the group page on WhatsApp, please? Fill the form, review your information, pay the fee, request your transcript from your school, wait for a few days. Yeah, I just thought of sharing it for you. Okay, yeah, thank you. Note that if you are applying for work, your evaluation is document by document, but not, okay, for school admission, yeah. So like you just said, exactly, I'm going to show you here too. I have it in the presentation here too. So you need to, first, he said you need to fill the form with them. And then you need to, when you fill the form, you need to fill the form with them. And then you need to, so there's a transcript. So they can request for a transcript. It's either, there are a lot of options, but the point is that they get your transcript. When they get your transcript, and the second part is that you have to submit your diplomas, which is photocopy of your degrees. When you submit them, you have to submit them to them, and then the next part is that you pay, and then you send photocopies of your HND and certificate, and your school send your transcript. So you send your certificate, but your school send your transcript. Then what WES does, when they receive all this document, they send all these documents that you've sent to them back to your school, okay? Your school registrar, and then for them to check if everything is correct before they start acting on them. If it is not correct, they won't act on them. So that's why you need to send original document, not fake ones. So it's like, so at the end of the day, when you are done with the evaluation, it's like cleaning up your hands. Your hands are dirty. You can kind of cleaning up a dirty GPA and make it, look more attractive. So it's just a table in terms of GPA and grade classification. Anyway, so the question is this: am I worth anything as an HND holder? Yes, you are worth more than you think sometimes. You have 2 degrees in one, and you are worth, I don't know if you would argue that you are worth more than a BSc holder, but I just want to let you know that the United States it has opened doors for you. A lot of universities here that are ready to take you into their programs, and sometimes you are even overrated. I know somebody who did, or I've read about somebody who did evaluations some years back. And when he did the evaluation, he discovered that his GPA was around 3.94. HND was HND. He did HND. His GPA was around 3.94 on a scale of 4, which is like first class in Nigeria, right? So he got out, he got admitted. So you guys need to think about that. And about the WES tools, you can come to WES, www.wes.org, wes.org. And then the price, as I did last time I checked it, where I did this presentation, was $217 for the high cap. If you don't know what to do with it, so that they can be sending it every time to the school or something like that, you don't have to be paying $170 every time. You pay these, but if you want to be paying $170, this is the basic version of it. So you have to count the cost and everything. So it's important. So the next part I want to just make here is how to identify and apply for a funding opportunity. I can do a full lecture on this. So, but this is just a passing. This is just going to be very quick. So you need to identify a program. For instance, you say plant pathology or economics, or maybe engineering. In engineering, you can say electrical engineering, or in power with specialization in power or something else, or renewable energy. So identify a program and Google for the program, and then you look at the universities in the US that have those programs. And in take 3 universities, for instance, and in each of the universities, identify 3 lecturers that you think you can work with your experience and expertise or your qualification. This is university 1, 3 lecturers from 2, 3 lecturers from 3. By the time you sending them, you craft an email and send it to all of them. The same email, but maybe a little modification based on the interest and some of the things that you want to let them know. And repeat this one for the second course. If you have another course in mind that you think you can do with your degree, do the same thing. By the time you have done that, you would have completely, within a space of 1 week or 2, reached out to as many people as possible, and you would have already started getting responses from them. So, any question before I go to the last order of the day?